going on, Jerome's? So I know that everyone is bummed about J.J. McCarthy missing his rookie season. Full repair on that torn meniscus, but just sort of is what it is. And McCarthy probably was going to get a redshirt season anyway because Slinging Sam Darnold was signed to be the starter, and Kevin O'Connell wanted to progress McCarthy step by step, day by day. So it was going to be Darnold's show anyway. But now it does remove the specter of JJ coming in mid-season. But could that be good for Darnold and his confidence? Because now instead of just looking over his shoulder and fans chanting for JJ all the time, he can just go out and sling it, as opposed to trying not to make a mistake, which, if you try not to make a mistake, that's when you make mistakes. And Sam Darnold has certainly made mistakes before. But looking at the schedule, of course, I know that everyone is all gloom and doom. Oh, look how tough the schedule is. They still got to play the Vikings. That's right. Because, hey, even with Darnold in the mix, we still have a certain guy named Justin freaking Jefferson. We still have a guy named Jordan Addison. Hopefully that ankle and his leg doesn't fall off. You still got Hockenson coming back. You got Darisaw. You got O'Neal. You got that Brian Flores Hellfire defense. Woo, woo. And also Stephon Gilmore one time. All right, so all is not lost. I commiserate. Take some time, grieving process. J.J. McCarthy really sucks, but he's going to be perfectly fine for the future. But no crying in the breast milk. They're not going to cancel the games, and Vikings still going to get after things. So we're going to go through prediction. That's a win, dog. That's a loss, as well as score. All right, so final score. Putting that out there. So week 1. Vikings go into the Meadowlands. Oh, the New York Football Giants, but really New Jersey. Danny Dimes, all that hype. Malik Neighbors. Stephon Gilmore locks him up, baby. The Vikings go on the road. Slinging Sam Darnold returns to stupid MetLife Stadium. 30-13 win over the G-Men. That's right, just really starting out the season the right way. And Flores defense, hellacious. Danny Dimes chucks up 3 interceptions, and we are already off to the races. Week 2. San Francisco 49ers, reigning, defending NFC champions. Don't care. No factor. That's right. So the Vikings, they beat the Niners at home last year. They beat their ass again this year. This is Josh Dobbs probably won't be on the Niners, but this is the Sam Darnold revenge game. Two revenge games quasi-revenge game because it's the same stadium. I don't know. So the Vikings get it done against a very, very tough opponent. The Texans rolling on in week 3, but the Vikings take a little bit of a stumble against a team that they are frequently compared to, although they're the Texans minus Stroud. Anyways, but a lot of narratives going on here. Daniil, Stephon Diggs, Case Keenum, half of the Vikings defense. Getting back together, but really near-wrong thing, and 2 young up-and-coming teams, and turns out to be a solid game. Week 4, Vikings on the road, cracking open the NFC North schedule. The greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Near-run thing, but the Vikings fall in overtime, 26-23. I don't want to say Will Rockard. But the Vikings go into Lambeau, have another good showing. Just don't get it done like they did last year. But Justin freaking Jefferson has himself a game. As we're off to foggy London town, the true Sam Darnold revenge game. Oh, you ruin me, I'm going to ruin you right in the face. Also, Aaron Rodgers gets sacked 7 times. It's not out of a possibility because there are some games when that Zimmer defense sacked Stafford 10 times. But the Jets, our Jets definitely takes off. The New York Jets definitely does not. Justin friggin' Jefferson has a huge international game, 10 catches for $189 and 2 touchdowns, just getting things done. So a bye week. Not even keeping tabs of this. Now I know that there's a formula, but don't care. I kind of like keeping tally of the record manually and then also forgetting to update it. Anyways, next up, week 7, off of the bye, Cancun on 3. Cancun. Actually, they're more of anyways, Lions at 7. Lions week 7. Now, this could have been the natural spot for J.J. McCarthy to take over, but Sam Darnold is keeping his head above water. He's doing pretty damn good with the weapons and coaching around him. And frankly, he's on what would have been the old guidelines comeback player of the year. He's on a Pro Bowl alternate type run, and the Vikings get it done at home. Diamond Dan Campbell. Actually, not Diamond Dan Campbell, but the dirty Kirby Joseph game because TJ Hockenson returns, puts up a touchdown right in Kirby Joseph's face, completely mosses him, and the Vikings get it done at home. Moved to 4-2 in the season and 1-1 in the division. Then short week Thursday Night Football. The Rams out at SoFi. It's the Kevin O'Connell Bowl, but the Vikings unfortunately fall in prime time, 23-20. But yeah, it happens, man. So the Vikings 4-3, mini bye headed back home against the Colts. Anthony Richardson game. This one's going to be a lot of fun. But so every single year, no matter how good or how bad the team is, there's always a random blowout. Well, except for 2022. And also just a random no-call, no-show. So this is the blowout. The Vikings get the jump on the Colts, even though Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, tool time, there are some bad dudes. There's some bad hombres. But the Flores defense gets it done against those two and Shane Steichen's offense, and they just shred the Colts, baby. That's right. Next up, Week 10, Jaguars on the road. Vikings win. All right, so 6-3, right? All right, so Vikings get it done, continuing their NFC South tour on the road in Duval. They pick off Trevor Lawrence a couple of times. Sam Darnold continues to be strong. Aaron Jones has himself a ball game. It's good times, man. Week 11 at the Titans. So again, this is the random no call, no show game. And maybe it's the Vikings feeling themselves a little bit at 6-3, and no one gave them a chance, but they fall on the road to Will Levis and his stupid mayonnaise. Well, there's a lot of ways to take that. Anyways, next up, Week 12 at Soldier Field, taking on Caleb Williams and the Bears' first crack at him, and the Vikings. Yeah, it happens. It's a sort of ugly, low-scoring affair, but the Vikings do get it done on the road. Again, Aaron Jones completely owns the Bears. Justin Jefferson gets a little bit loose. JJ versus JJ, Jefferson versus Jalen Johnson, and the Vikings notch another divisional win, move to 7-4 on the season. Next, Week 13 is going to be kind of fun because that's not it. Overall, I like Kyler. I wish he was more dialed in and focused, but also I love Marvin Harrison Jr., man. I absolutely do. And all the hype that Malik Neighbors gets, it's deserved, but I mean, where's the Harrison Jr. hype, man? But the Vikings and the Cardinals play a classic shootout duel. Formerly, the Vikings just come up on the short end of it, but still are 7-5 on the season. Next up, Kirk Cousins, Week 14, return to historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Bam. Bang thing. Now, the Vikings initially lead 38-0, but then Kirk gets a garbage time touchdown and gets a little fist bump. But yeah, the Vikings offense, against Sam Darnold, starts clicking. He wins NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Jefferson, Naylor have some big-time games, and it's good to go, man. So Vikings move to 8-5 on the season. A final stanza of 2024. Bears at home, Monday Night Football. The Winter Warrior game. Vikings ain't losing that one. No. 33-20. Jordan Addison absolutely goes off in those clean, beautiful whites. I like him, man. Also, Aaron Jones, like we said, always owns the Bears, so he has a big-time game. Week 16 at the Seahawks. Remember, it's like it always seems like we play a road game in Seattle. Usually in prime time, but this one not so much. But the Vikings come up short on the road, and then they move to 9-6, still in the playoff mix. Then you got the Packers at home. Bring it. Just an absolute starching. Hey, you know how you're cocking off about not having wide receiver ones? Well, you definitely don't. The Vikings and Flores harass Jordan Love, and the offense shows that they're top dog. And Aaron Jones has a revenge game, rushing for $150 and 2. And the Vikings move to 10-6 on the season. Then wrapping up on the road against the Lions, Vikings lose a near-run thing, but still 10-7. And could that be enough for the division? Who really knows? But either way, the Vikings make the top 7. They're in the playoff places, and then anything goes after that. And the whole thing is I understand we have the reputation of being the Homer channel. This ain't that crazy. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Anyways, that's it. 2024 Vikings record prediction after the J.J. McCarthy surgery and injury. Again, not saying comeback player of the year. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.